How about now? Do we have audio now?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Audio?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Excellent. Okay, should we get started? Yes? All right. Hello, people. Hello, YouTube. I will make it short and sweet. Welcome to the Bitcoin Open Blockchain Meetup and our workshop. Today we have BTC, we have Rockstar Dev from BTCPay server, and he's going to tell us all about BTCPay server. So enjoy.
Yeah. You just see that
I'll tweet it out.
you tweet it out, and people on the internet, yeah, they'll hopefully find it because they promised I will retweet it.
Okay, I'll tweet it now and then you can retweet it.
Let's do that. So that my conscience says, keep up my promise.
Okay, hopefully that's the right link.
Yes, 7
That
seconds
is,
ago.
all right.
You want a microphone?
No, I'm all set, man.
Are you okay?
No, I am super okay. So that was for all the people I promised to tweet out the link. And for people here, yeah, I know a lot of you. Some of you I don't know. Yeah. I go by Nick Rockstar Dev. I've been upgrading that nickname to Rockstar every time lately. But yeah, I'm one of the primary contributors on the BTCPay server, which is a payment processor for sovereign individuals. And down there, you have all our social channels. Like, it is great community. So if you're interested in Bitcoin, like even if you're not a developer, join it because people over there probably share your own goals, you know, and they can help you out with any questions you have. For example, talked with you, man, on LN Trust Chain. Like, how many people here know about LN Trust Chain?
Big day yesterday.
4. Big day, 5. Nice. Big day yesterday. I know. Did you see Jack Dorsey, like CEO of Twitter, passing the invoice? So anybody wants to join in with that, like I know the guy that started the whole thing. So you know, maybe we can pass the torch to you guys after, you know, tomorrow or some other day. But to kick things off about BTCPay server, I mean, to be honest, like it's my huge pleasure to be in front of you here, and because when this Bitcoin thing happened, like for me, it was a really big thing because like Bitcoin brings interesting group of people, you know, special, but in a good way, you know, like the way I see it is people that are interested in Bitcoin, they see something is wrong with the world and like they want to fix it in some way, but they're not sure how, you know, and like the same thing was for me, and that's why I'm so glad when I found the BTCPay server as a group, because like you can't do everything, right? You have only so much quality, so much talent, so much skills, and you need other people in order to like, even provide basic help. So for me, when I joined up on BTCPay server, it was way less people back then. It was mostly Nicholas and one other merchant who was raising up to run the thing. But now it's a huge community, and I'm hoping to expose you to more people, you know, during this talk, and you know, get you to join these social channels so that we can have more fun together. So because this is like a workshop, we're supposed to do some stuff. And the first thing that I wanted to ask you, I mean, people that are on laptops or the smartphones, like, just pick whatever channel you like, what you use. Do you use Telegram, do you use Slack, do you use Mattermost? This chat.btcpayserver.org is now our primary meeting place where the team, collaborates and basically makes all the big decisions. So, see to join any of them. Well, I'll just basically break down the talk. The talk will be in 3 parts. The first part will be me talking a little bit about history of BTCPay server and just giving you general overview of the whole architecture of BTCPay server, how the whole solution works. And yeah, sorry for YouTube if I'm going too forward, but the second part of the solution, you'll enjoy me coding live some issues. If I can actually finish it here and submitting the patch to the repository, like, I don't know how many people here know C# or are even developing. Wow. Maybe even we do handle some issues here. So 4. Yeah. Well, third part of the talk will be our principal project manager, Britt Kelly. She will hopefully join the whole conversation, and she will talk about how to handle issues, how to identify the issues in our repository that you can actually fix. And she is a great first contact if you're joining, and want to collaborate or, code with us. Because she knows all the issues. She's handling issues way better than I ever did. I tried, my hand in project management, and yeah, it's terrible. But yeah, that's pretty much it for how the talk will be structured. I guess we should look at how it all started. And I always say every startup, like great startup, has a great story. And I think this tweet will, be with us in 10, 20 years. Because you remember August 2017 when big companies were basically trying to push through Segwit 2x, right? So BitPay was one of those companies, and in August 17, they basically just declared that all the merchants that are on BitPay, they will be transitioning them to Segwit 2x chain. And they were, using a bunch of fancy words or, this is done to lower transaction fees and whatnot. But basically, the whole situation was terrible because all those merchants on BitPay, they had no say. It's like traditional system is, like, I'll force you to do what I want you to do. So obviously, yeah, Nicholas said, yeah, this is lies, my trust in you is broken, I will make you obsolete, right? Makes sense. Company that just closed a financing round of 40 million, like, one developer will make them obsolete. It is a bit funny, right? But actually, he followed through. By the time I joined the project, it was December or January. Like, you had a kernel, you had something going on, right? You had merchants running this BTCPay server that he has built, and people were actually using it and accepting payments. And plus, they didn't need to give the cut to big bad BitPay, who had their own agenda. It didn't matter that Segwit 2x, didn't succeed. Basically, more and more people realized the importance of, being sovereign in a sense that you host yourself, and then nobody can force you on other chain or, to accept fake Bitcoin by your definition. So by that time, I'm still on that project. That's my main job, but my main job is a soul-crushing, hard endeavor. They wouldn't be paying me for it otherwise. So I was looking for, joining some team as a hobby, as a way to interact with people, because whether we want to admit it or not, we're all social animals, right? It's way more enjoyable when you're in the group of people, like, you understand, you share the values, you share the goals, you want to have fun together. So basically, us talking, I said, whatever you don't want to code, like, I'll code it in my free time. And yeah, my background is quite interesting. I mean, now I'm here in the US, but growing up, I was back in Serbia, and my childhood was spent in one of the worst hyperinflations ever. Like it's top three. I think it's now top three because it was number two spot, and now Venezuela took it over, unfortunately for them. So as a like kid, I really found money fascinating. Like I started asking questions like what it is that makes it valuable, right? Like why do people accept the money? And I was asking these questions all around, and the older people they didn't know. They were like, it's money has value because gold, right? So, and that's really, unfortunate, trivial explanation. So when the whole Bitcoin happened, as I said, it was just, yeah, this makes sense. I had a perfect education to understand Bitcoin, to see how the whole system can be, in a sense, fixed or made better. Because what happened to me, I mean, it's unfortunately like it just keeps happening. Once you give somebody power to print money, like it's hard not to print money, right? If I had power to print myself $1 million, like I would tell you guys, man, like I won't do it, but if I'm to print $1 billion out of those billion, like I'll take the money, right? No big deal. And it just keeps happening. So uh, if my view on all that is it doesn't need to happen no more because previously we don't have technology to make digital cash, right? Like the only way we could make money happen is if we elect certain group, that group elect another group, whatever. But in the end, you have committee or some entity that you need to trust, and they tell you, oh, we are really smart. We'll handle this money thing for you guys. Don't you worry. But yeah, as we can see from like here in US, actually, like this is the best possible solution. It doesn't matter that you put money in the bank and it loses like 3-4% of value each year. Like, that's great because but you do need to follow the stock market, bond market, make sure that you're not extra taxed on the money that you are already taxed. So like right now it's like there is simply no need for that. We still have a lot of questions to answer, but now when Bitcoin happened, we do have technology to make digital cash like it is a reality. Now the next question that we're debating and spamming each other on Twitter on like the next question is how do we make this scale worldwide? And a lot of smart people are working on it. I like to think myself as part of that group, but I don't know if they'll reject me. We'll see on Twitter later. So, but basically, yeah, the vision of BTCPay server is just if somebody wants to be a payment processor, they should be able to be. And it should take you 5 minutes, a couple of clicks, or maybe command line instructions to bring up your technology stack and be a payment processor. You want to accept payment from somebody all over other side of the world, you should be able to do so. I mean, there are people that are saying, yeah, you shouldn't be. That's why we have all these measures in traditional financial system. But I believe in people, and I do think that we got to the point where it does make sense for everybody if they want to become a payment processor, they should be able to do so. And BTCPay server is just the technology stack that enables that to happen. And this is how we make it happen. It's pretty simple actually. So in the foundation, as for everything else, like it's full Bitcoin core node. And because we support all the altcoins or there is another word for that I can't use. Stream needs to be PG-13, but whatever you want to accept, we don't judge. It's just you and your crypto. So you just need to run the full node or whatever crypto you want to accept, and that goes on the bottom. On top of that, we have MBX Explorer, which is kind of like UTXO tracker. It's a piece of software that allows you to, if you create an invoice, you somehow need to know whether certain invoice or certain address has received the funds that you were looking for, right? So that's what MBX Explorer does. Basically, it's glorified UTXO tracker. And then if you're integrating a coin that doesn't work with UTXOs in the similar way that Bitcoin works, then you'll probably need to replace that with your own implementation. For example, like how many people here have heard about Mimblewimble? Nice. Mimblewimble. And then Beam and Grin, right? How many people lost money on that already? Nobody. Oh, we can celebrate. But basically, like, I need to shout out to Alex, who's leading the Beam project. We talked today, and it's likely that we'll see even Beam in BTCPay servers soon enough. But as I say, like the whole point of all this that we're doing is, other than just having fun and meeting like this, it's about freedom in a sense that, you know, you want to do this, let us give you the tools so that you can actually do it. And once you have those two components, the third component is BTCPay server itself that connects to MBX Explorer, and it uses Postgres as a database, but you know, you can have whatever.
On the Postgres side, could it also be whatever database?
It can be MySQL, it can be SQL Server, it can be
How about SQLite or CouchDB?
CouchDB. Well, I'll wait for your pull request, man. Yeah. We were waiting on your pull request. So yeah, on live stream they heard it first here. So get CouchDB, guys. And these are the repositories that are our main repositories, so to say. So BTCPay server itself is in that repository. The second repository. No. The second repository is BTCPay server Docker, which is so to say like setup repository. It is a repository that contains all the scripts that you would use to deploy BTCPay server easily. So one example that like you're getting more and more of, you know, small Raspberry Pis like this, and more projects are actually using BTCPay server not even as a payment processor, but more like as a way to manage their technology stack. So I know how many people were here on the previous meetup. That was super awesome because Jack Mallers was here, and he demonstrated his point of sale, right? And that point of sale is actually using BTCPay server, like in that technology stack, because it's super easy to bring up everything you need: Bitcoin, full core node, Lightning node, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I mean, basically that BTCPay server Docker repository is if you want to see those deployment scripts and you want to deploy BTCPay server or anything like virtual hosting provider or something, or you know, bare hardware that you actually control. And we have BTCPay server doc. That's like documents repository. That one is crazy. I guarantee you, like, if you take a look at all the documentation you have, you'll be blown away, because there are videos for everything. There are like documents for everything, and that's why I say community is so awesome. The community that we have, because it's not just developers. It's just like people fixing grammar, you know. It's not like that, or adding what they think adds value. And again, as I said, this is a workshop, so everybody that's here, just take a look after all this is over and see where you can contribute. And the last one is, yeah, it's MBX Explorer repository. That's if you want to add altcoins. I need to make sure I don't say. Yeah, like if
Is it meant, or is it friendly for non.NET developers? Because I'm not a .NET developer, so I'm a C# developer. I tried and I had some problems. I don't know if that was just me or
It's you, man.
Yeah.
It's you, yeah.
Fair enough.
No, man, like, hit me up on that Mattermost. Like, I actually, one of the biggest things I'm doing now is spending time with developers and doing a remote desktop session and getting people to, learn C# and .NET and do stuff they find, fun. So, yeah, and you don't need to pay me, $1,000 per session or whatever. I don't know what's the running rate. I need to ask Justin Moon. Yeah, because he's coming to Chicago again, and I promised to give him a shout out. So, yeah, if you want to learn, but he's more Python, right? I don't know if you went to the Justin's.
Yeah, it's Python.
Yeah, but we will actually do. Maybe you can come to that one. So Justin and me will do kind of like this talk, but he'll be right here, and he will be like the guy that doesn't know .NET. And it will be also live streamed, so yeah, you can even watch it from home.
Question for you. So I got BTCPay server set up on my computer, but I had to do some weird, like all the tutorials were for a VPS, which is really cool, like setting up elsewhere. And so I had to do some weird hacky stuff to get it working on my local. Where's the best place to go when you have a question like that? Is it the help channel in Slack or?
Like Britt Kelly will kill me, but you go to Mattermost, you find Britt Kelly, and you're like, Britt Kelly, this doesn't work. This is terrible. And then she jumps in and tells you, no, you are terrible. And
well, yeah, like it might not have been the software's fault at all, right? So.
No, I'm telling you, like, I need to bring up the Mattermost. Yeah, already bring up at BTCPay server. So let's see if they're already making jokes about my presentation. But yeah, this is the Mattermost. And that's my troll box. And let's see, Rockstar messing around. Live. Yeah, this is Britt Kelly. So you basically message her and say, this is not working, this is terrible, you should help me. Yeah, okay, that's what I'll do. Hope she's watching. And yeah, she likes it, so if you don't know anything, just message her. And then she'll take care of it, yeah. The talk is too cool. Thanks, man. Well, from London. This guy, for example, I just did a session with him because he wants to become a .NET developer. Like this Esky guy. The guy is like a huge DJ in London, and for some reason he wants to learn to code. And he's watching this actually. He'll now join it.
So you had a Bitcoin core that supports all the other.
No. Bitcoin core doesn't. Bitcoin is just for Bitcoin.
I know.
But if we're adding, then like you will run a via coin node. You want
Ethereum. But how many can you run at once?
as many as your hosting machine can support.
So one BTCPay
Full
server
node.
for all of them.
Yes, one BTCPay server to rule them all. Yeah, so basically we just keep adding the full nodes, and then you have MBX Explorer on top of them to follow the UTXOs because Nicholas was optimizing it crazily, and then you have BTCPay server on top of it. That's the architecture. So stick to the script. Yeah. Maybe I should turn this off because they'll make too much fun of me. But yeah, but basically, I mean, that's it for the history and architecture. And right now, like this is what I do when I have some extra time and I just want to interact with the community. And other than just going on Twitter and seeing my inbox spent and all the other stuff, the important thing is to see if I'll actually be able to do it. No. Hannah, internet killed me. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hold on.
So Docker compose Docker compose update. Anna, you are saint. Bailing me out all the time. Okay, driver failed. So this is why everybody hates Docker, because it works and then it doesn't. So Docker. Docker. So if you're ever running into connectivity problems with the Docker, you're probably in a bar in the middle of Chicago and your network settings have completely changed. So you can't bring up your Docker stack. So what you should do what everybody's doing and restart Docker. And then hope it works. And if it doesn't, if it doesn't, you run you're about to reset Docker next. So do we want to? Yeah. Let's destroy it. Because we have so many dependencies in our technology stack, and like instead of getting you to install, I don't know, SQL Server here, Postgres, install Bitcoin full node, install MBX Explorer, install this, install that. What we have instead of that, we have the list of containers in the Docker. And then all of the dependencies can be automatically started with Docker, provided you're not in a bar in the middle of Chicago and having troubles with network connectivity. So this is the main file if you want to start hacking away. Here you can see all the dependencies like Bitcoin 4, Bitcoin 4. This is for.
Can you make the font a bit bigger?
Font bigger. A magician network. Yeah. So likely to delete this. Don't pay attention to this. But MBX Explorer, we say bring that up on this port. Bitcoin D, bring it up. All the settings for Bitcoin D. Customer lightning, C lightning, and charge on top of it. Lightning for merchant. Litecoin D, this is if you like Litecoin like you do, man. So you want to bring that up also that we have it. This is if you want to MySQL instead of Postgres. But basically, this is for LND. If you're not using CLI, there's a Lightning Network implementation, you're using LND. But basically, we have all this in order to run the tests, because this is a test solution. So, for example, unit testing, and we go, like this is a test.
Please feel free to donate.
That's the test is how do you do crypto calculation if somebody provides you price in USD. So you wanted to ask something or no? Yeah, let's see. So let's see if the Docker is back up and running for this demo. There will be no coding today.
No.
It's starting. Yeah, let's also see. Docker, come on. Yeah, and our Telegram channel is also pretty new, but it's pretty good. So if you're on Telegram, you maybe consider joining that. Can't believe Docker will kill my demo. That's what I'll do that. But basically, while we're waiting on Docker to start up, are there any questions so far? Just you, Hannah.
Just me. So I was looking through it this week and having fun looking through it, but I'm new to, I've never touched .NET anything prior to this week, or C# or any of that. But it looks all object oriented, and honestly, it looks like stuff I'm familiar with. So I don't know if you want to do that. Maybe if Docker doesn't work, you can show us like just through the code, like this is where you start, and these are the different like objects that we have, and these are like how you interact with things. And I would just really like to dig into the code of it.
Yeah, but if you know me, you should have messaged me for a remote desktop session. I already have 2 of you booked. So we'll go one-on-one, right? You'll become .NET developers. Like, if anybody else wants to join the call, like, I'm traveling to Florida for some investor stuff, whatever. But I'm free for, always interacting with people. So, find me on Slack. Whenever you see Vin Diesel, that's me. So, so just message me up and we'll organize remote desktop session, because that's what I've been doing last month or so. That's how I ended up in Rotterdam. So, yeah. Hopefully I survived that Moscow thing. I don't know if that guy is watching, but maybe I should message him now. It's like a live stream. Hey man. So Docker, let's see if Docker started. It seems that it did. So please don't download everything because it's scratch. Works, yeah. So I'm telling you, if you're running Docker demo in Chicago, some bar, a new connection, you need to factory reset Docker in order for that to work. But basically, once I had that up and running, GitHub, BTCPay server, Xfinity Wi-Fi slow, it really is. So issues, yeah, and it's issue after issue after issue. Yeah, this is assigned to me. So, Britt Kelly, I told you I'll handle that complex issue, but please make it easy for me. So, input fields for crowdfund. You see, she is principal project manager, so she already described the issue and said, you need to add asterisks. So what I would do, I would now just go to Visual Studio and let's say the title field is required. The title field. Like in Visual Studio, if you like any IDE has like searching on whole file, right? So views. This is basically where you have all the HTML views. I don't know how many .NET Core developers there are, but basically all the HTML that's rendered for the user. It depends on the project, but ASP.NET or MVC, you have views and then you have here. So, where is your problem? And public problem. There we go. So, contribute form. So what is the form? Title. Let's see. Update. And so what Britt Kelly wanted here, like she wanted asterisk on the description. So you find description, and it's here. Yeah. small asterisk. So basically you would add one here. And this is how like you would go through the issue, but basically once you have your commit, whatnot, then let's see. Then you use whatever, like how many people here know how to use Git? Yeah, so if you need education on Git, that's another remote session with me. So, like a lot of people like command line Git, but I actually love this. It makes it so much easier because you can actually see all the branches and everything. Like this is a free tool, source free. So right now, I would just see what is my change. You know, like a really big change, impressive for a live stream. Source Street. So Atlassian basically developed the tool and gives it away to people. Like you do need to register, which is terrible on their part, and shame on you Atlassian, but it's a great tool. I love it. So now that you have your thing ready, like you would just stage all this. You would go commit, and you would say I've added asterisk isn't that impressive. And I would send this commit. And this commit would go to my own repository in GitHub. That's like I still push there, even though I have access, but and now I would go on GitHub Rockstar there. So proud about that. And on GitHub. And now that that latest commit finishes committing, you should see that there's that branch. So I go pull request and internet again. That's the same. Come on. Yeah. So you go pull request. I mean, I understand for like developers in this room, it's like this is super funny. Like it's so easy, right? You do this every day. But for people that are maybe not developers and they're thinking that developers do this crazy magic behind the scenes and I don't know what. Like, no, this is just what we do. This is exactly how I would do some more complex commit to the BTCPay server. Like it just I would be able to do it without programming like this. It would be a better code. So yeah, I would maybe ask cooks to review the pull request if internet let me. And if it doesn't, I just create pull request. And now somebody from the team, whether it's Nicholas or Cooks or me, we would review the pull request. And then if it does solve some issue, like in this case, it was issue 589. And it's a good thing if you include like 589 here, and then that can be referenced in the issue itself. Only internet really can. But see, I've referenced my pull request here. Request review. So yeah, he will review it. As he's already reacting. But basically, like this is how you would do any change on BTCPay server. And now, once your pull request is accepted, I mean, once we start our, sorry, I'm laughing about the issue, not like standing here. But once your pull request is accepted, our whole build system will kick in. Like, let me see. We do have full build system, and let's see some other pull requests because mine. To see, for example, this one built fast, this one built didn't pass. So show all checks. And the whole build is automated and it's right here, that is the load up. And not only this build is automated, but publishing to our Docker repositories where the BTCPay server container, Bitcoin Core container, MBX Explorer container, like all the containers that are being built, it's automated. So, we have automated it to the point where it's building not only for the old x64 machines, but also, ARM processors. So it's like multi-architecture build, and once you want to pull it to whatever hardware you have, then Docker will automatically detect it because we also are, because of the way we build the whole thing. But yeah, internet is killing me. But you can actually see these builds also because everything we do is open source. So if you want to learn how to do automated builds and Docker container publishing, like he's really enjoying it. So if you want to do that, you just go to repositories and see exactly all the code that we use and take it for your own project. But basically, that's pretty much it on the whole workflow. Like right now, I will try to get in touch with Britt Kelly. Like, is it okay if I hold the mic? And I can also answer your questions if you have any questions. Like, what will be the price of Bitcoin in 1 year?
However, so if you want to plug it into like Lightning Network as opposed to Bitcoin main, is there anything different you have
Like
to do?
on-chain, you want to go off-chain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything different you have to do? Or just change the Bitcoin node?
No, not really. I mean,
Well, what exactly does the Lightning Network integration actually do? Like, what are all its features?
we provide a whole stack in a sense that you want to run Lightning Network node, right? Like can accept or make Lightning Network payments. Like, maybe it's even better that I show the launcher. So it's Luna node. Like you get the full Lightning Network node. All the tutorials that people have, like step 1, kill yourself. Step 2, and it's like step 35, and now I don't know. You finally have Lightning node up and running, and you can create payment channels. As he said, like we streamlined that to the point where it is few clicks. So this is Luna node. We integrated with them. We're looking into making this for almost any hosting provider that wants to do minimum job. So you just enter your ID and key, and then if you want to host your BTCPay server, the whole stack, Bitcoin Core node, Lightning Network node, whatever, you provide your own like domain. If you don't have your own domain, like this one is tied to I think btcpay.servebeer.com. So you can plug it into that's the address of the word. Here you just say, yeah, give me the name. I don't know. And over here, like this is the email address. Let's Encrypt can notify you about certificate expiration. Because if you're bringing up Lightning Network node and you want it to be accessible from the public internet, it needs to be HTTPS. Because you don't want to send your Lightning Network node credentials over HTTP, and then anybody can sniff the packets and steal take over your node. And we haven't automated even that part of the process. So Let's Encrypt is HTTP, like it's certificate provider, and it gives you HTTPS connection like by default. And then here, if you want to bring your node on the mainnet, you select mainnet. You want to bring the whole market in testnet, code testnet, and finally, if you just want to test, like you need a node to test some stuff, like then you go regular. So, you want to go mainnet, And lightning implementation, here you pick. You know, do you believe in roast beef, the guy that talks fast and gives awesome presentations, or you believe in block stream and lizard people and old
So
school?
is it any lightning implementation or is it?
We support these two implementations. Like the third one is coming. That's what I heard. Like it will be mainstream. I forgot which four developers
Which third one are you supporting?
We're supporting these two, and if somebody wants to support like third one, then that won't be me because I implemented like L&D, and I didn't want to do it, to be honest, but I was playing around, and roast beef said basically something like, yeah, you just need to generate swagger, like it already has swagger. And I was idiot, I generated it, and it worked. And then I was like, okay, I can complete this, but then I figured out, yeah, what was generated didn't really work. So I spent like 2 weeks on it. And
So is it a manual process just to plug in?
no, like here we did see.
Well, besides the ones you've created, so if there's a brand new lightning node that I
This is a brand new node. Like we were bringing it up right now as we talk. You want L&D or C-Light?
see lightning.
C-Light, yes. No, we're pissed off road speed. So accelerate initial blockchain synchronization. This looks awesome. And these are some advanced. Yeah. What do you want your lightning node to be called?
Rocks lightning 2.
No. Let's go for something better. Better like cry roast beef. So yeah, live stream will be awesome. People love it. It's like cry roast beef. You know what will be funny? We'll like bring up this node online and people start connecting to it. It will be opposite of Roger Ver. Like he was crying that somebody brought up a node called Roger Ver and nobody connected. You remember that, guys?
Yes.
Okay, now we know what we're doing while launching the node. Okay, so this may take a few minutes because now hosting provider is like bringing up new virtual machine, and that virtual machine is doing its magic. See, so after about 5 minutes it will be ready. So in the meantime, we can say Roger, Ver, Ryan, like. I can't believe I can't find it. Somebody did a great video where like it's kind of on the level of. Yeah, it's kind of like this, kind of. You always go for the short thing. Please, internet. Yeah, this will be slow. Like you saw this video?
I don't think I have. No. Oh, there we go.
Let me
It's
buffer it
loading.
up because I would cry if it drops in the middle of lawsuits. So. We don't have.
Is there audio? No audio?
We don't have audio.
Yeah, you're trailblazing here as far as doing the demos here.
You're right.
Trailblazing. No, I can't believe like next talk I need to be like prepared to play beans. See, I figured it out.
All right.
So listen to this now. I mean,
This is a solution for common cash. Bitcoin Cash is not be cash, all right?
like, did you get anything? Because the guy from the audience was asking Jihan, who is now no longer in Bitmain, like, what does he think about Bcash? He was like, it's Bitcoin Cash, not a Bcash. And it's like maximum disruption. So I'll try to find Roger also crying, but yeah, we can go trying to reach Britt Kelly. Let's see if we can get her.
How does this automatic procedure go about establishing channels? Like, what's the heuristic?
Honestly, I don't know, man. I haven't dwelled deeper into the code of L&D and NC Lightning, but.
Does it enable autopilot or something?
Well, when we start that node for you, you basically control it fully. So if you want to turn on autopilot, you turn it on.
Okay, so you still have to manage your own channels then?
Well,
Maybe you want to.
people will manage it for you because you're a payment provider, like in this setting. And Brett Kelly is on. And like people will connect to you to make payments. So hey Britt. Yeah, so do you think we can do this? Like people are looking at me funny.
It's up to you guys. I don't know what you're doing on time.
I mean, we have time, right? Yeah, so.
Yes.
So do you want me to open any website page or anything, or you just want to give general pep talk to the crew here like you usually do for us?
That's fine. I'll just talk. It's okay.
Okay, yeah, people.
Can you guys hear me?
They can, I mean, are you on live stream?
I think so.
Yeah, you can see me waving to you.
No, I don't have a live stream up for the feedback.
Yeah, that's good because it will be just you. But yeah, if you could give to people like they are listening to you, if they are listening and watching me, I mean, this is really weird. I've never done this. But if you can give them just like a 5-minute intro talk on what they do after they reach you on Mattermost, like, and in Slack, like what do you usually do? How do you handle new inquiries?
Yeah, sure. By the way, you're doing great.
I know. I mean, I'm a rock star. So. see, like I'm getting louder and louder laughs. So we're getting started. It seems.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Anybody has questions, come into Mattermost or Slack, Telegram, anywhere, and we can help you. It's not just me. Like, there's usually somebody lurking around that can answer questions. And everybody's really nice, and then, if we help you, then you have to stick around and help other people.
No pressure. No pressure.
That's the deal.
Yeah.
So you can just ask questions in any of the channels, like help, random, support, whatever. It doesn't, it's not that serious. We're all just learning and having fun.
Yeah, I mean, if they ask a question in the wrong channel, like it's auto banned, right?
It's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Do people here have any questions for Britt or?
So just one, kind of on the note of running a decentralized product like this, especially where this is a product that if I was to implement this as a business, it's going to be processing my payments. So I care a lot about making sure it's not broken or compromised in any way. Have you had any issues with the fact that the product is decentralized and somebody has to just trust that it works? Because if I download a new update, I don't have to read all of the code of the update and check out and get it.
Yeah.
Has that ever been a problem, or how do you guys manage it?
You heard all that, Britt, or I should repeat it?
I did not hear
Yeah,
it.
you have 0. So the question is, if somebody is using BTCPay server as like for processing their own payments, who does ensure that when new version is out, it doesn't have new vulnerable, it's not vulnerable. It doesn't have new bug in the new version, yeah.
That's an awesome question. So basically, it's up to the community. We all work together, and a lot of times, if people don't step up to check other people's work and test other people's pull requests, it's not just Nicholas's job or Rockstar's job. It's everybody's job. So if you use the software, you should get in there and check it out too. And it's not that hard. There's documentation for it.
you can test every pull request. So every change that is made to the code, like you can test it yourself before it gets merged. And if you think it has a problem or you have a better, solution for it, you can make a comment. It will be addressed, before it's merged. It's really a team effort. Everybody's working together and nobody can do it alone. We all have to contribute. And so even if you just do like a small thing, it really helps everybody. And a lot of people are counting on, people to review. So
No, I love that it's team effort. And also, what I love about this whole thing is that other people are stepping in. So actually, for even merchants that don't want to host themselves, you're having more and more custodial solution. It's in a sense that somebody else is hosting, you just create merchant account. And like, where should I go, Britt? It is already in the documentation, right? Where are the posters? Like, who are the posters?
oh yeah, like who's using BTCPay or who's
No.
the host provider?
Yeah, hosting provider. So it is in documentation repository or
Yeah, it's deployment methods.
the
I
point?
can send the link to Mattermost.
Yeah, but this is like, deploying MD.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, see, like I told you, she's awesome. She knows all this stuff and where everything is. So here it is, deployment link. I remember we actually talked about this link, but
I'm coming at you with the link in Mattermost.
no, I'm already there. So this is a third-party hosting. So the list of BTC-based third-party hosts, how can one become, and so on. So I'm telling you, documentation is freaking awesome. There is even like a website where this solo is rendered like way nicer. So, and we are actually working. I don't know how many people know that OpenNode, for example, raised 1.25 million from Tim Draper, and I don't know if anybody saw my rant on some stuff. You saw it?
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I missed
you
that
saw
one.
it. Hannah
Yeah.
saw it. I mean, even Roger Weir, he liked the comment about him. You saw that? Oh, so, but basically, I do see a bigger entity stepping up and providing BTC-based server as a service. But I mean, they'd basically be a new BitPay. But the whole point here would be, if they go rogue, anybody else with the money who wants to provide liquidity and fiat settlement will be able to step in and clone the whole stack. I mean, somebody else will be able. The point is, nobody owns the technology to the point where I force you to, go SegWit 2x, or I force you to, I don't know, upgrade to new version. If you don't want to upgrade, you don't upgrade. Just so. I think we even went further. Like, this is what the BTCPay server team does. Like, they just answer the question and all the sub questions. So yeah, Britt, anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, so I don't know, what is like is everybody a developer or is it a mix? What kind of?
Like, it's some developers, it's like some people, there is a YouTuber here. Like, some people are looking at me funny. There is one guy in the back, like the half of the talk, he was like, yeah, he's waving now, but he was doing this. You will watch the live stream, so you will see it, but it's a nice crowd. And it's Hannah organizing, so it must be freaking awesome, yeah.
So with the test, you have a regression test.
Yeah, go on, Britt. It's your final word.
Okay. Yeah, if anybody wants to contribute to BTCPay, it's not that hard. We have all the repositories like docs, documentation. We have the regular repository. You can also contribute to other repos, like the media repository doesn't have like a README, just little things like that. And testing also is really good. So if you find an issue in BTCPay, just think about whether or not you can fix it, or if you just want to let everybody know there's an issue.
Then you open a new issue, yeah, that's also a good one.
Yeah, it helps everybody, and always, check to see that someone else isn't working on an issue that you're already working on. And if you are working on an issue, let everybody know so that we can assign it to you. We don't want people to do work that other people are doing.
Yeah, okay, well, I guess you'll have a lot of people reaching out to Mattermost. You have better questions?
Yeah.
Is it live, ready? Can the merchant onboard himself on the network, on the processing network?
Yeah, now we're bringing up his node, like that's next thing. I wanna see Rosebeef cry.
For a brick and mortar business, how soon do you think, like, if you want to get
Today.
set up doing autonomous?
Today, just, I don't know, Jack Mallers, like, we should advertise it, we should. Yeah, there's like Bitcoin mom is saying from Colorado, Jack. So today, man,
Should I reach out to him?
like reach out to me or to Jack or whoever, but basically you just need a box like this, plug it in, and we'll now see on the mainnet. I don't know if I.
There are lots of businesses that are already using BTCPay
Yeah,
server, right?
yeah.
Like, why don't you tell them which companies are already using BTCPay?
I will. So Britt, it's been a pleasure. We'll do this like because I'm doing with Justin one talk like this, but we'll now keep bringing you in. You like that or no?
Yeah, we don't like it Python though.
Oh well, we're improving every day. So okay. So I'll.
Good luck.
Yeah. You have a great one. We talk soon. So for the businesses, yeah, that was a good suggestion. So. Where are the businesses already running? See, like I shouldn't have disconnected Grid because she knows. But basically, the biggest merchant that we signed on was the BTCPay server Sheep Bear. So you know about Sheep Bear or no? You know, some people know that, but Jeff will not love me because I'm advertising his business. Like everybody who has Bitcoin, live stream included, like if you want to buy tickets, airplane tickets with Bitcoin, like use Cheater, and their rates are pretty good. Jeff, you're the best. But this was July of last year when I was talking to Jeff. They switched over from Coinbase because Coinbase was kicking them off. Coinbase kicked off a lot of merchants. They switched to BTCPay server.
But for a brick and mortar business.
For brick and mortar business, like I really think maybe Jack's solution is the best one because he has this. You were here for the last.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, so he has a thingy like this, right?
It's an app on the phone, again.
Yeah, but
I don't know
this
what
is
his node looked like. I
Yeah,
didn't
but
see it
then
yet.
you have something like this. You now plug it in here, plug it in the wall, and then your bartenders they have this awesome app
App on the phone.
on the phone that Jack made. They connect to this little thingy where your Bitcoin is stored. I mean, it's Lightning. For Lightning, it is stored here. For on-chain funds, it could be hardware wallet, and they're like paid here. People pay.
Jack Chicago.
He's like worldwide
kind of.
based.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, like Jack, I know you will watch this stream because I'll teach you, but you need to teach me how you make all the people impressed with you. It's crazy. I would go to Rotterdam and the people would walk up to him and it's like, oh Jack, solve the scaling problem. And the guy sitting there watching it, the guy like, it's crazy. I wanted to do that, and now I'm old rockstar developer. I'm young rockstar developer.
So the reason I came here, I want to put something on my website, and I have a Bitcoin Casa node, and like I looked at OpenNode, I looked at Stripe, I looked at Globy, I can't go on Coinbase,
and nothing hooks up, nothing has a plug-in except for on like a WooCommerce or like a WordPress. So I came here to see if I can
So you want to
hook this up
connect
to my website. I have a Wix website where I want to hook up and sell some things on there, just with Bitcoin Lightning.
We can, it's just a question like you want to hook up to your Casa node as a Lightning Network node, right?
Yes, just for merchant payments, yes.
We can do that. It's just a question of how you would connect between BTCPay server instance. If you would host it in your own house or network, it's pretty easy. You would just need to give access to Macaroon. Like, I don't know, Casa node is LND or
I think it's LND.
LND. I mean, we even have James on Slack. He hasn't been saying hi for a long time, but he was even trying out BTCPay server. So we would just need to connect your BTCPay server and NBX Explorer to the rest of the stack that you have. So it wouldn't be like really easy setup, but it wouldn't be too hard.
But BTCPay server has plugins for all kinds of like WooCommerce, DrupalCommerce. Right?
Yeah, that comes even on top of that. So those plugins then communicate with BTCPay server. But BTCPay server itself, if you have Casa node and you want to use exactly that, like you would need to like connect it.
Wait a minute, you're saying that integrates automatically? You already had integration with WooCommerce?
We have integration with WooCommerce, yeah. Like you type BTCPay server,
What else you got? You got
we got everything, man.
you got
Everyone.
You got Apple.
What was the other payment that we did like? But yeah, for WooCommerce you have video. I know that you have video for WooCommerce, but all those are PHP like card system. Something I know that.
Probably Magento. Do you know Magento one?
Magento, I think that's the one.
Definitely
Cooks
Drupal.
it.
You got a Drupal one.
Like
Because you guys beat me to it. But
yeah. Like there are a lot of plugins, so I don't know where all the ones that are there, but it should be documented. Rick Keller will kill me now. But it should be that's the integration. So yeah, there's Drupal, there is WooCommerce, production features. Yeah. I was a programmer. I'm like going through the files while they're like it's all this. Deployment, features, integrations. See? So, and you asked me a question and I'm answering it. Yeah, but for the rest of the audience, it's like WooCommerce, Drupal, Magento, PrestaShop, and you have custom integration. Does that answer your question? See, all the integrations, WooCommerce. And you have everything here on this page. How to install, how to third-party codes, how to vary store, connect your wallet, everything. So, yeah, documentation is great.
Can you give kind of like a time frame or overview of how Cheap Air interacted with your team and kind of process of like, we're no longer doing this, we've decided to now go over to you guys, someone sent an email, and then what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I sent the email because Jeff was complaining publicly. Like he wasn't complaining, he was more interested, like CEO of Cheap Air. He was saying, not like Coinbase is kicking us off the platform in a nice way, and we are looking for alternatives. Community should suggest some alternative. And I reached out to him through email and we just kicked it off. So it took maybe a month, and out of that whole month, the most time was spent on just figuring out what they want to do. Once they committed to actually, we're going to do this, I mean, they just brought up a note. So let's see if this actually works.
Why did Coinbase kick them off?
Well, they're evil, bad empire. They learn about money from merchant processing. I mean, it's a business decision. Coinbase moved more towards like investors, that they wanted to do that custody, that they will take institutional money and invest it in crypto. But yeah, bear market messed them up on that. I mean, they were targeting, I don't know what it is, like 3 billion in institutional money to get into crypto. And they were, gearing up from the legal side, like lawyers told, like kick off the merchants, it's not a lucrative business. But yeah, they kicked off all the merchants and then bear market happened. But they have enough money, so I'm not too worried about Coinbase. But why doesn't HTTPS work? That's not good. There's too much. Oh, yeah, Luna Node had a problem with certificates recently. So yeah, HTTPS doesn't work. But HTTP, see, we went to the mainnet with it. So now this is downloading the whole Bitcoin blockchain and validating it. So you won't be able to use your installation before this is finished, but there are settings that allow you to make this process faster. But basically, you just deploy BTCPay server. So you can use this for payments as soon as this synchronization of Bitcoin blockchain finishes. So all you need to do, you need to make sure you you need to make sure you register first on your instance, because whoever registers first becomes admin. So you do that.
I wasn't sure if you had finished answering the question. So after you sent the email and you said it was about a month, what was kind of the heavy lifting that they did, and what was kind of the heavy lifting that you guys did? Or did you do all the heavy lifting for them?
I always do heavy lifting myself. You can tell, yeah. So it seems that somebody registered the user instead of us. So yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, it's live stream, so now they have a
Someone's
control
trolling
over.
you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you. It is, but basically, see how long it took me to bring up BTCPay server instance. I mean, like it's 5 minutes. So really, like with cheap air, the most of the talk was, are they doing this, or they're going with something else? And then, like maybe a week on and off, but like productive work, it's just like a few hours. Yeah.
Kind of as a follow-up to that, you mentioned the custodial services that have been kind of cropping up, and that makes perfect sense to me if I was somebody who wanted to implement Bitcoin payments and I didn't want to jump into it. In the same vein as that, has anybody implemented a solution? And this is very against the decentralization thing, but it would be nice if I was going to try and set up 50 different stores, if I could have one node as opposed to 50 nodes with currency.
Yeah.
Has anybody implemented that?
Man, like we have so many people, not so much on Mattermost, but on Slack. Like we have a guy from Italy, like, hi, Paolo, if you're watching. There is a city, I don't know if it's Naples or, sorry, Paolo. They told me 5 times and I always forget. The whole city is trying to go crypto. I don't know if they'll raise money or what's the deal, but they want to bring up BTCPay server instance, and all the merchants in the city will basically depend on that instance. We also have the guy that's with Dash Foundation. I only know him as a Mr. Hack. I know I'm weird like that. I mostly stick with, he Dash wants to do a lot of things in Venezuela, so they're even making this small POS terminals. And we were talking about possibility of them just bringing up BTCPay server instance, and then those POS terminals would connect to those instances. Because in Venezuela or smaller like markets like that, even if you're ask merchants, host your instance, pay $10 an hour. They're $10 a month. They'll be like $10 a month is a lot for us. So unfortunately, I failed on that end because I've been working on some fiat stuff in the back end, and a lot of those bigger entities, they want fiat settlement as an option, and I haven't delivered that. Some people are now picking that up, so thank you guys for bailing me out. Like, I do see that's happening pretty soon.
How the heck would you do fiat as an option in BTCPay server to connect to a bank
I'll tell
account?
you privately
Okay.
after the call. Yeah.
Now, you say you guys need a server to run with this? Like, is there qualifications for a specific server or the smallest dimensions or?
Man, when it's running on Raspberry Pi, I mean, you can imagine it's not that, unless you're getting 1,000 payments an hour, and whatever you're selling, I want to sell. Just let me know, I'll buy you a server if you get that many payments. But yeah, I mean, even for a bar like this, I think it like run on this. How many payments do you have per minute? So.
Are you running Windows on Mac?
What?
Is it running Windows?
This is the Linux. I'm not sure which.
Wait, can you run Windows on ARM?
You can. You
Yeah, this
can.
new
I guess you
Windows
can run, like,
bundle that goes on.
Windows Phone.
Or is it .NET?
What?
Oh, but you can build binaries for them. So.
Yeah, so .NET is now so like multi-platform that you can actually run .NET for Linux or even on ARM variants of it. So this one specific was sent to me by my good friend Norm, and you can find his Kickstarter. But I haven't even talked about that. BTCPay.co. So Norm is running this Kickstarter, which is new feature we added to BTCPay server recently. Like, if you want to run a Kickstarter for whatever, it's just a couple clicks once you have your BTCPay server instance up and running. So Norm is running this fundraise in order to manufacture nodes like this. And yeah, and basically if you contribute this much, this is just a donation. Like, you can buy this one for like $179.99. Now I feel like I'm in TV. This one is just the shell. If you already have your Pi, if you just want a custom shell, he sells it for $47. And I'll show you how awesome the guy is. Like, I mean, he didn't do the discussion. Let's get this out of the way first. This is just Raspberry. And if you want to build it yourself, here are the instructions. And
That crowdfunding thing, how exactly do you do that? Do you do escrow or something?
crowdfunding.
But is it like threshold crowdfunding or is it just like?
Kickstarter? Is that a Kickstarter?
It's kind of like Kickstarter. Yeah.
Like
So
if they miss the target before the timeline, what happens?
You don't get any-
programmer here. Programmer. You have nothing to keep the money.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah. No, I know you're a programmer because the first thing when I saw this Kickstarter in Bitcoin that's in USD, I was like, what happens if the rate goes down? But we actually use this as a project, BTCPay server, to raise like 0.5 Bitcoin for that animation. I don't know if anybody was watching that. Were you watching?
I saw you raising the money, I didn't actually see the video yet.
Man, you should have watched when I was joining the stream.
It's out?
Like it's recorded, so it's on Twitch TV Network. And yeah, I think that guy is also watching. Like, you know how I'm mentioning the Jack and him being the rock star of the whole talk? Like, even this guy asked me, like, when can we get Jack on the stream? And I'm here. Not me. No, not Jack. So, yeah, so this is the channel you can watch the whole recording. It was crazy, but yeah, I mean, if you want to contribute on this one, I think he even has lightning. He should have. Yeah. Damn you, internet. But basically, you just click contribute and you would get an invoice there. Oh, please, come on. You would get an invoice there and then people, just pay it. This is Kickstarter. There are so many people contributing. No. That's the invoice, but the connection is so terrible that it's broken. Come on, let's see if this works. Come on, invoice. Yes. So it's your fellow rockstar dad. And I want to pay by Lightning. And this is invoice. This is like if you want to connect to that node. I made this. So if you have Lightning wallets on your phone, like I have, so you just go and yeah, we can send the guy 25 cents. Norm, thank you for the node. I'm paying you 25 cents. And payment should be detected if my internet is not terrible. But this is how you would raise funds for anything. And while we're waiting on that payment to go through, it's not like the payment, not like You should have seen like the guy that was raising money for our animation. Like he was clueless about this. So the guy who is live streaming him creating animation, and he has the Kickstarter page open, which Kickstarter page has sounds like here. And people start trolling him because they see like they send the donation and you hear like headshot. And the guy on the live stream is trying to figure out like what's with my computer. Like while I was playing all the sound, the whole stream, like it's ridiculous. So there is a video of that, you can watch it on that Twitch channel. But this is Kickstarter. Let's see, Twitter, Jeff. Yeah, don't mess with CPAs. Like this guy did a service on top, like it's a service that runs with BTCPay server, but it's like Patreon only for Bitcoin, and it doesn't accept credit card payments and everything else. So Jeff, your CPA, I'll never mess with you. All my taxes screwed up. But if you wanna, run a Patreon instance in a sense, look this up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's real life.
Yeah, I mean, we were hoping it will get more exposure because there is so much fuss about Patreon and the whole thing. And I'm sure like the whole battle is just warming up. And I do think you will see more and more people running what Jeff did because it works great with Bitcoin or any crypto because, not to say but like, it works great with crypto and it works with credit cards and other stuff. So yeah, look that up. But are you tired yet? Any more questions? I'm a rock star. I can go a whole night. So yeah. But I think we're set. So again, Mattermost, Slack, Telegram. I mean, just Google Rockstar Developer on Twitter and reach out. I'll leave the messages open, DMs. Any questions, let me know. I got enough D-pics. So that was nice. Yeah, cut.
Good work.
No, cut.
All right. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Say goodbye to Twitter.
Bye.
Goodbye Twitter. Or no, not Twitter. YouTube. Goodbye YouTube.
Shut down.